Hi, I'm Suey.
I'm Toto.
We thought it would be fun to do a quarantine Q&A. What does that mean exactly?
I don't know. A for fun video, in addition to the other videos we already did while we're in quarantine.
So we asked Twitter questions. So yay to the people who responded to us. We sent the questions to Megs and she has sent us her video. We will incorporate her answers into this video. This one is from Dolores Brown on Twitter. What is our go-to video?
Go-to song or music video to show/introduce newbies/non-fans to K-pop.
So this is an interesting one for me because back in the day we would do a lot of non-K-pop reactions, and we would have to think of what to show them, and usually we would take into consideration the kind of stuff that person particularly liked, maybe, or we would maybe play what was kind of newish at the time we were trying to do the reaction. But did we have some go-tos at the time that we always would want to show people? We would always show them a BTS, exactly what I was going to say. We've done like Fire, Not Today, and DNA.
Well, I made a couple of videos on this channel, one of which called 101 K-pop songs for people who think they don't like K-pop. I mean, there's a lot.
That's 101 songs right there.
Yeah, but I feel like that song Different by Woods, that's like, I love that song. And then that could be played for non-K-pop people because that's very...
Not bubblegummy.
Yeah. Sean is good.
Sean is good for people who think they don't like K-pop because it's very normal sounding, quote unquote. I would always like to show Shiny Lucifer because it's very K-pop.
Lately, ATEEZ. I feel like ATEEZ is, sound and feel and look K-pop, but also could
draw in a new person.
Yeah,
for sure. And we haven't had a chance to do that because we haven't done any non-K-pop reactions for so long because we ran out of people. It would be really fun to show people ATEEZ right now and see what they thought, huh?
I would do like Answer or Wave.
ATEEZ, Lucifer, Sean. How's that for a mix? Oh, and also BTS. You always got to show some BTS.
Do we see what Meg said?
Yes, let's see. Let's see what Meg said.
Oy. Okay, so this is one where you have to actually read the room, and I don't have like a go-to one for everyone. It's more based on what that person likes and is usually into. The most recent person to introduce to K-pop, she asked me, actually came to me and was like, I want to learn about some K-pop while I'm here. So the first thing I did was go to my top songs from last year, and I just started playing some of them. I know I played her Gaho's Fly, and she really liked that. Face, she liked Face. Who Do You Love? But then I started getting the feel for her taste, so I played her some Block B, and that was what won her over. Ugh, I love Block B. They're so great. I can't wait for them to come back. There usually is a BTS song in there, and there's usually Monsta X song, and Super Junior. I don't readily introduce them because they do have more of a vintage vibe to me, and so like I have to really figure out what kind of songs people like to see if they would enjoy Super Junior as much as I do. But yeah, it's been so long since we've done K-pop non-reactors.
It's really funny.
Done music videos. There is a lot of prejudice and I would say stereotypes people have in their head, and so you have to be careful if your music video is going to fit into the stereotypes that people have. So I don't like to show too poppy. I like something that's a little bit lower key when it comes to music videos. Unless I am going for a theme of crazy music videos, which is what I did with the dudes. Like, the theme was weird and outrageous music videos. If I were to do one with my friend, I'd probably show her Black Swan, but not the music video. I would show her the dance practice because I love it so much. But I would show her On and On, and then I would probably show her N Flying, Good Bum, Shine, Pentagon.
I forgot to mention Monsta X. I would definitely show Monsta X right now too, especially some English stuff first, and then maybe work them into the Korean stuff.
Because Monster X's English stuff is played on the radio at my university.
But you know, we also want to not just show them stuff that it sounds just like stuff on the radio here, but
Right. Yeah.
work them into the K-pop stuff. I don't know. Okay, so the next question is our favorite underrated groups. Sequasha. I want to say we love her because she comments on our channel and she watches our stuff and she's awesome.
We did an entire panel about this at KCON about underrated groups.
Oh, she also did a compilation of underrateds.
Oh yeah, from that panel.
From the
of
panel.
The ones that people mentioned throughout the panel.
Right. Going back
What
a
is
little
underrated?
bit. Yeah. We have to define underrated, exactly. And I think everybody's definition for underrated is different. Like VAV, for instance. They are underrated. They're not that popular. But in our circle, people we talk to on Twitter and whatever, people are talking about them all the time. Who was our favorite underrated?
Attention, if they're still considered underrated.
So Attention has got a lot
more attention because of
Produce
Usak
101.
and Jinhyuk
Yeah.
on Produce 101.
Right. But I still feel like they're underrated because they're just not that well known and people don't gravitate towards them. So I don't know why. Because they're really, really good. What else?
I don't know. Like, there's just so many that I don't know who to say.
I know. And also the other thing is that some of my favorites right now are brand new groups. And so it might just be that they're new, not that they're necessarily underrated, right? Like One Us and One We. They are both like in my old category now. And they're still smallish, but I think that's because they're new.
One We's been around for a while, but they had a different name.
But nobody's really paying them any attention. They're starting to a little bit.
We could get into like super underrated and talk about like Say Yes.
Nobody's heard of Say Yes. We've been to Choice Music. We say to them, "Do you have any Say Yes?" And they're like,
Who's that?
"Who are you talking about?"
Their music videos only have a couple thousand views. Their channel, their YouTube channel doesn't even have 1,000 subscribers.
They are so good, and I don't know what their status is right now, if they're even going to be doing anything else. I think the guys all went to the military. I don't know if they're going to be trying to promote it again at all. Probably not.
But Subin produces stuff for other groups.
Is he still doing Black Six stuff?
Maybe.
Maybe. Black Six, there's one.
Most of the groups
That we
that
are
we are
into.
into are underrated. Who's underrated? ONF, Golden Child,
Yes, yes.
Target,
Target. Anybody know Target?
D-Crunch, Movning, Brooklyn. He's not a group.
I don't even know if he's considered K-pop.
He calls himself K-pop. Halo, Unique, Gaho, and all the other PLT dudes. Villain was talking on Instagram yesterday, and he left PLT.
He did?
And Flying, are they underrated? I don't
Not
think they're
not so much
underrated.
anymore. I think they were,
They were, definitely.
but I think that something happened and they're
Third
not.
Eye. Third Eye is like a girl group trio. They're good. Donkeys, who have we been getting into lately?
But they're still kind of newish.
No, they're not.
They're the same age as ATs. That's considered rookie still. Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
Rookie is 1 year.
They're barely not rookies then.
Does anyone know Suggy? He's not really K-pop. He just sings in his bedroom. Well, he's pretty popular on Spotify. Impact, Intuit.
Oh, yes. She's probably got like 10,000 songs, so this might take a while.
No, did you know that you can't put more than 10,000 songs on a Spotify playlist?
Oh, is that the limit?
It caps out.
10,000?
Yeah.
So did you cap out yet?
No. Listen to a lot of groups, and most of them are underrated.
It's fun to like the ones that not the entire world likes. Okay, let's see what Megs has to say.
Pentagon. Pentagon's probably my number one underrated group or underappreciated group. I feel like they deserve so much more recognition for their talent than they get, because if you have not seen Jinho's magazine Ho covers or songs that he does, like, he is so freaking talented. Like, it hurts my heart. Like, when I watch those and he goes from, his range is like massive. He is one of the most talented vocals in K-pop for me. As is Hui. Hui, oh my gosh, that man's voice, I just absolutely love it. There's something about his tonal quality that is very just particularly him, and I absolutely love it. And he produces songs, and he writes lyrics and music, and it's just, he's awesome. I do not understand why more people don't love them like they should. I don't understand why they don't have more. Do they even have a win? Like, did Shine even win? I don't think Shine won. Also, and fine, they're growing. They're not really underappreciated anymore, but they were one of my biggest underappreciated or underrated groups, and now they're getting bigger, and it's a struggle I have to share. And then, of course, Up Tension through a really weird stage in their group because two of their members went to produce X and haven't come back. Any other underrated? I mean, you have Double 24, IZ, so many.
Lishy asked, is there a group that you want the other ladies to get into? So like each other. So like, is there somebody I would like Megs to get into, or is there somebody Megs maybe would like me to get into, or vice versa you want us to get into? Here's the thing. I feel like I am in a spot right now where I am loving tons of new groups.
Like you're absorbing everyone?
I'm absorbing everyone.
I want to learn everyone. I'm loving all the new things and the new people and everything. And I'm just like taking it all in, and then I fall in love with them, and then I want to share with everyone. So I'm in this spot.
And I know Megs is in a spot where she's kind of pulling back a little bit from learning new groups because of what happened with Monsta X and Stray Kids maybe even. And so it's hard. The ones right now that I wish I could gush and share the most is MCND for sure. Also, I know Megs isn't that into One Us and One We right now, and I remember wishing she had been more into them during last year a little bit. I know there's more though that I've tried to get people excited about. All of a sudden I'll say, oh my gosh, have you heard of this group? This song? And then she'll be like, I showed you that like a year ago. That happens all the time. And I will do it to Megs. Megs will do it to me. So you have to be ready. This is a huge thing.
Like there's not a group right now that I'm really wanting to
push on to people?
Yeah, except for maybe donkeys. Megs, get into donkeys. Or, okay, there's Rin too. I feel like Rin isn't really into many of the underrateds that we were talking about. We could say to Rin, get into Up Tension. Sometimes there's just like random songs that I find and I'm like, you need to love this song as much as I do. Like Winter Flower by Yuna.
Now I'm sure that Sui and Toto have a list a mile long. I do not, because they know more than I do. They are into more than I am. I would say like they've learned far more groups than I have in the past year. So everybody I'm really into, they are also into. So I don't think that that's like, I know I like Pentagon more, but they're into Pentagon. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I don't really have any that I want to get them into.
Our last real question is from Lori Morgan. What is your process to learn new groups, and how do you decide which groups to stan? We were just talking a little bit ago about you have to be ready to learn a group, and we're not always ready at the same time, which is sometimes really frustrating. So then you just go for it yourself.
It happens.
Dare we use the O word? It happens organically.
Is that a bad word?
Yes. It's a bad word on multi-stan Twitter.
It has to happen naturally. I keep bringing up donkeys because that's who I'm in the process of standing right now. Like, I found a couple of their songs a couple months back, and I have been keep playing them, and then, you know, just their music videos, I just want to keep watching them. At some point, you keep getting attracted and like a magnet. It's not really a decision, it just happens, you know?
This is our process, I guess. Once we decide we want to learn who they are, then we'll watch a personality video, we call it. So it'll be like their appearance on something where they have their name tag, and so that you can learn who their name is with their faces. So like you watch a Weekly Idol, or you watch a After School Club, or you watch a V-Live.
Their vlog things.
Vlogs. If you really want to get into them, then you would watch a survival show that's already happened where they've won. We haven't done that very much because I can't really handle survival shows.
Or just like pre-debut.
Pre-debut
reality
vlogs
shows.
are the best. They're my favorite.
Like ATs.
Like ATs and One Us and One We. You just watch those and then
Because like those,
you love them
just
by
know
the
them
end.
automatically.
Yeah.
First step is to learn all the names in the group, not their faces, but just the names. Be able to list who was in the group.
Right. Then we try to match faces to names. Yes.
Initially, first step is, like with the latest comeback that you're looking, with that hair.
It's usually got to be with a hair match.
Yeah. And then the next step is to be able to name them with the different color hair.
Like go back in time to the first comeback. Or pre-debut or something.
So then it's being able to seeing a single shot of one member and being able to pull out of your brain who is that without comparing it to anyone else.
Right.
I don't know, I think from there you can name them from seeing just their eyes.
Wait,
or
that's
seeing them from behind.
That's at the very last. Then you know you're to the stand level. Is if you can recognize them from a blurry shot, a faraway shot, a behind shot, an eye shot. And towards the end of the process, if you can name them out of context. So like you're scrolling through Twitter and somebody just posts a picture of somebody and you automatically know who it is. Then you know you're to the stand level, right? If you look at it and you're like, crap, I can't tell who that is, then you're not quite there yet, right? Oh, then learning voices. Learning voices. Yeah, being able to hear and tell who's singing.
Or just talking.
They're singing voices and they're talking voices, yeah, both.
Like when they're filming someone and there's someone behind the camera talking.
If you know who it is.
Like automatically know
without
who's
it,
filming.
Without it saying on the screen who it is.
Yeah.
That's our process. And sometimes it will stick and sometimes it won't. Like I might learn who they are, but then I will forget about it at that stage and not keep going. Right now I feel like I'm trying to do too many at once. And it's fun. I'm having fun with it, so I don't care right now either. I just want to because it's fun. But I'm worried that nothing's going to stick because I'm trying to do too many at once. Okay, let's see what Meg says.
You don't really decide, they decide for you. That's been my experience, is that something comes along and it piques your interest and you're like, oh my gosh, who is this person? And then you look them up and then you are sucked into a black hole of learning them. Now the thing that I have found that works the best for me in learning people is like when they are standing still and singing, or they have a video where they just are very still. It's not like a music video, it's just them singing. So for example, the best one where I learned somebody really quickly was Pentagon, and it was because of their little videos of Beautiful and Violet and I can't remember what others, but they just were there. And the person who was singing, they would make a big picture, and then if you had the captions on it said who it was. And so within 3 or 4 songs I learned all of them by name and face. I find if I just look at pictures, it's not as easy. I need to see all of the facial expressions that they do as they sing and everything. Then, you just watch their own little TV shows or watch them on variety shows. Like Weekly Idol was my favorite thing to watch groups on. Most groups have their own like YouTube channels or V-Lives with their own specific shows. So you have like the BTS run, or you have Monsta X does them too. And recently I haven't been getting into new groups in the way that I did in the past, where I try and learn everybody's name and what they're like and everything, because recently it's just become too hard to love everyone and then be disappointed when things happen. So I've been distancing myself from getting to know groups too intimately and just loving their music instead of them as individuals, which I'm sure they're lovely people and they're great, but sometimes it just hurts when one of them has to leave the group for stupid reasons. They're your favorite member and now suddenly you feel heartbroken. That sucks. So I'm trying not to learn too many groups at this point, and now I'm running out of tape, so bye.
So hopefully you enjoyed our question and answer stuff. There was one other funny question from M, who considers herself Hongjoong's mom. She wants to know why I'm stealing her kid. But she's not talking about Hongjoong because she's talking about Holland. who she mentioned the other day on Twitter, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And she's like, you can't have him, he's my kid. That was spawned that question, but I was telling about how we went to his panel and how he
Stole her picture.
I took a picture and I put it on our Twitter, and he stole it and put it in his Twitter. And I said that must make us something, right? Best friends. But I think he stole a lot of people's pictures, so because it was a really cute picture of him going like this on his panel. He was
adorable.
He opens his mouth and bam, you are gone, just like that. Because like we said, we were on the panel, and so we were in the green room together with him, and if only
say anything.
we weren't so freaking shy, we could have, can we take a picture too? And we just don't do that. We get so shy and nervous, but oh well. Okay, I guess if Em considers him her kid, we'll just have to share in our love. All right, that's the end of our questions. Thanks for those of you who asked us something, and hopefully you learned a little bit about us, because that kind of covered a lot, actually, about how we do things around here.
I thought this video was going to be short, but it's definitely not short.
It's going to be a fun one to edit. Let's be friends and K-pop together. Bye.
Woo! Why do I always cheer after?